melanin is popping.
I'll tell you right now, I love my melanin.
There's actually 50 shades of melanin.
Legalize it. Yeah. Melanin.
Brothers, stand up. 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 You're melanated. Highly melanated. You're melanated. Highly melanated. Brothers, stand up. Brothers, stand up. Brothers, stand up. Brothers, stand all the way up. There be these moments where I be looking at y'all like, okay, look at me. So we Oh God. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Highly
Melanated.
Highly
Melanated.
Highly melanated.
Coming at you.
Highly melanated. Melanated podcast.
Just for your information, your melanation count has just gone up by about 4 jillion, quadrillion, pecillion, manillion units per melanin etheric square.
And in case you didn't know, that's accurate.
Okay, guys, welcome back to another episode of Highly Melanated, where we melanate your palate and feed your soul. PJ.
Think about it.
I am. I hope y'all ready.
We don't know which direction you're going, so how could we be ready?
PJ Shrimp Scampi here.
What?
I was ready.
I'm hungry.
You see juicy butter lobsters here.
Okay.
Red, all the crab legs red.
You stole mine!
And you've been boxed out.
Hey. Blair, crab cakes here.
Look, crab cakes is good.
And the gang is back, and the gang is back again for another episode of
Episode.
And the gang is back. And we're back, y'all, with another episode to Melanate Your Palate and Feed Your Soul. As always, you can follow us on all forms of social media. Instagram would be Highly Melanated Podcast. Again, Twitter is H_Melanated Pod. You can also email us any questions, comments, concerns, any ideas, anything you would like to say, get off your chest. You want us to speak for you, say something. You know, we're here at Highly Melanated Podcast at gmail.com. And as always, you can go to our website, highlymelanatedpodcast.com.
Check it out.
Hello, good evening. This is your fairy god Jeeves, and I'm here to introduce the highly melanated manner where we melanate your palate and feed your soul. Of course, I want to go around the room and I want to take your orders for toast. But first, the special for today, and that is Melanated Men Stand Up.
Would you please stand up?
Hashtag Melanated Men Stand Up. So if I can go around the room and get some toast, that would be amazing. Anybody?
I have a toast to everyone born in October.
Ow.
Which means special shout out and toast to our two co-hosts, our two co-hosts, PJ Scampy and Blair Crab Cakes, who celebrates their birthday this month.
Just so delicious and seasoned like fine wine.
OBO, bitches.
Okay. So a very special toast to the Libras during this October beautiful season. October is my favorite month because I love Halloween.
Well, Halloween falls under their section.
Scorpios.
She's doing the. You guys know the tall man the
wild, wacky, inflatable.
Wild, wacky, inflatable, and Blair. Wild, wacky, inflatable, Blair.
There you go. But no, toast to everyone born in October. Shout out to all the Libras and Scorpios.
Shout out.
Yes, shout out.
And my toast drink will actually be a nice flavored.
It sounds like it has a U in it.
It does not.
Flavored.
A nice flavored orange lemonade for the season of Halloween is orange, so orange lemonade.
That makes sense.
I'm with it.
It's orange lemonade. Don't say you wouldn't try it, because I know I would.
Okay.
Wait.
Like orange?
That's like like sour orange.
I've never yucked your yum.
Okay. Damn it. Why you do that? Okay. An orange juice with an umbrella on top.
I'm here for it.
I like it. I love
Where
it.
is the alcohol?
I mean,
it don't have to have alcohol in it.
Okay, with a shot of rum on the side for those who partake.
Thank you.
On their side.
You know what? Okay, then a shot of rum on the side for those who partake, but a nice, healthy, virgin glass of orange juice, fresh squeezed.
Virgin glass of orange juice. Just a glass of orange juice.
With a shot of rum on the side for those who partake.
Okay.
Fresh
I'll
squeeze.
accept it. I'll allow it. With a double shot.
I'll give a toast to for my drink of choice, since we're in the Halloween. So I'm thinking of Halloween. I'm thinking of like Halloween parties that we used to have in like elementary school and stuff like that. So I'm thinking of like the big punch bowl with like 7-Up and Hawaiian Punch mixed together. So I'll have a glass of that. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Damn, we used to put Sunny D in that thing too.
Oh boy.
Ew.
Yes.
You like? Wait.
I didn't
My
like
coworker
Sunny
was
D.
drinking Sunny
don't
D
like
the
it?
other day.
I didn't like Sunny D.
Okay, great.
Shout out
Did you
to
like
my-
Tang?
I did not
I'm about to
No.
say I love Sunny D. Shout
I
out
love
to my
Sunny D.
coworker
I
who
love
was just
Sunny
drinking
D.
a bottle the other day.
with this orange juice and it's creamy. Like how?
Creamy.
Exactly.
It's thick.
I don't know if I remember being creamy.
It
I
was-
just
it was-
remember
It is.
I
No,
didn't
he's
like
right.
it.
Yeah,
It's
like
girthy.
when you pour it, do you
Let's
hear,
not talk
do you
about
hear
that.
it?
No.
Do you hear it?
Can
It
I
just-
get to my toast? No, we're done.
He said it is
We're
girthy.
done with that.
It's girthy.
My
Girthy
toast
and
actually
creamy.
goes out to my mother and father because, yes, like Ishi said, I was born in October 29th. And
banging on this table.
my birthday is this month. Ow. So I'd like to shout out my parents for doing the damn thing to make sure that I was here. Thank you very much. And especially I want to shout out my mom.
That means he's a
because-
Valentine's Day maker.
Okay, look.
All right now.
I was born, I think I mentioned on the show before that I was born via cesarean section. So my mom actually chose my birthday because a C-section is an operation and you schedule an operation. So it wasn't like, oh, we going to do this today. Well, in some cases it is, but in her case it was already a pre-planned C-section. So she actually chose
Pre-planned
my
what now?
C-section.
C-section.
Oh, okay.
You know, she said C-section.
Okay.
You better by the seashore.
Yeah.
Pre-planned C-section.
There we go.
And so she picked my actual birthday, and I've always, I don't know, like I'm very, very happy with the day that she picked. I feel like it just like works out in all terms. I've always loved that my birthday is October 29th. So shout out to Mom. and their geeks.
Shout out.
Shout out to that mystery person who I know that has a Halloween birthday. Yeah, I remember you. Anyway, thank you. Next.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
Next. Hair flip.
After these messages,
Hair
we'll
flip.
be right back.
And the hair flipped all the way around.
Whipping your hair back and forth. Okay, come on, Willow.
Shout out to you. She got this new hair right now. We just
New
love
hair.
it.
Don't
Who dis?
care.
New
And
hair.
a
Who
bead
dis?
in there. I see a bead.
Ew.
Oh, a couple. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Ew.
Her hair looks amazing.
Wow.
Well,
That's the tigress
I was about to say
coming out. Goes from a kitten to a tigress. Now that we have sufficiently quenched our parched throats, let's get into. Since you already said wet your whistle earlier, I was like, oh dang, now I got to say something different.
No, they know it's yours. It's
It's okay.
I got
all right.
excited.
You gotta do something a little different.
You make such good stuff.
Let's move into these appetizers and our melanated senses. As you guys know, those are the things that we see throughout the week that are that we see, taste, touch, hear, and smell that are full of melanation. PJ, I know you have a melanated sense you want to share with the group.
I mean, I definitely do, but does anybody else have one?
Okay, he'd like to go last. Red, do you have a melanated sense you want to share with the group?
As he puts a banana in his mouth as soon as he knew it was coming, so he wouldn't have to go first. But he's going.
My mom is no phone. I don't know if I can say anything right now. No.
That's hilarious.
Oh, you can talk with your mouth full.
Okay, let's try to keep this as PG-13 as we can. Okay, we don't know how young our listeners may be.
Yeah, no, there's a couple of young men from Africa that they just, like, at work, as soon as they come in, one of the first things that they do is they just walk around and they just say hello to everybody. But in particular, they say hello to each other.
Yes.
You know, just making sure that they just acknowledge each other. So just being able to see, I guess that's just seeing and hearing that is very empowering. So shout out to them.
Shout out, Africa.
My melanated sense goes out to none other than the sight of and just the feeling of where we are in Black America. And this is going to lead up into our conversation today. My melanated sense goes out to none other than seeing Tyler Perry open this
ginormous.
Oh my God, this studio. Talking about seeing all the different Black artists that came out, Oprah, and Gail.
Yeah.
I said that for you. Anywhere from Halle Berry, all these people that he has studios named after. And it's just about time. It is a beautiful moment in history to have this finally be here. But yeah, I'm not even sure if my words even sound accurate or right, but that's how it makes me feel. It just brings
It's a lot of emotion.
It brings it to oh, there he goes. It brings me to like this thing where I saw on Instagram, and I'll let you guys take a listen really quick.
Because Tyler Perry made history as the first Black American to own a major film studio, which he celebrated with his A-list friends in Atlanta. CBS This Morning talked to him about how he thinks of his role in Hollywood.
I clearly believe that I'm ignored in Hollywood for sure, and that's fine. I get it.
And wait a second, is that fine?
It is. My audience and the stories that I tell are African-American stories specific to a certain audience, specific to a certain group of people that I know that I grew up with, and we speak a language. Hollywood doesn't necessarily speak the language. A lot of critics don't speak that language.
And more celebs flocked to the grand opening, including Oprah, Spike Lee, Samuel L. Jackson, and Tiffany Haddish. Wow. So do you think that this will create more change in Hollywood, Erica?
Who cares? Honestly,
Really?
who
Yeah.
cares? Tyler Perry has been very vocal about the fact that God's or life's rejections are God's protections. Had he done something in Hollywood, he would have been dreaming too small. The dream was much bigger, and he was rejected for a reason, so that he could be the most successful mogul Hollywood ever ignored. So who cares?
Well, Erica,
there's always a lane.
And speaking about bigger,
exactly the part of it that I really want to give more praise to. I saw this. What you guys just heard was part of the Daily Blast live show where they were talking about, obviously, Tyler Perry and the idea of him being ignored from previous situations with Hollywood, and where he is now. Who cares? Because he is the most important, or the most. He's just the most important figure as far as when it comes to black TV, black art right now, who actually has more control over anything else than any other, for our community, than any other person right now.
Reference to who he gets to cast, what he gets to show.
Everything.
And it's on all black networks.
And he controls all of his, he controls all of his content.
Mm-hmm. He even has like a black Hollywood thing going on in Atlanta where he got a whole acreage of like studios where you can film and that kind of stuff. That's amazing.
Every studio is named after somebody.
I think that was the part that like I love the most. That all the different sound stages are named after like iconic like black people in film and television, and like when Will Smith did the what is it called, like when you break the bottle on like something like to like christen it. Yeah, like when he did that and like the little speech that he gave beforehand, I was just like, this is history in the making. Like people like us are gonna go and like film on like these sound stages one day and be like, yo, like I filmed on the Will Smith sound stage, right? Like, kind of thing, and that's gonna be like it's already iconic, but like just thinking of like the generations that are gonna come after, and at least like hopefully have as much appreciation for that opportunity that we have. Like future generations will still have that same level of appreciation, because this was a long time coming, and it's something that really should be recognized. And especially like in that clip, how Tyler Perry was talking about like he is like the biggest mogul that like Hollywood has very pointedly ignored. And so it's like, all right, and like she said, like that was the plan. Like this was like God's plan. Like if he had been more of a figure in mainstream Hollywood, then so much of what is happening right now would not have happened, because he would have been thinking so much smaller.
That's the idea. Dream bigger, dream bigger.
I'm very excited because that it's not about like, oh, he'll have all the equipment and like a place to like, really monitor and like fix his content like you had mentioned, Yushi, but it really is just the empowerment of, you go there and you're like, oh my God, this is like all for us, like
by us.
That's, I think, that's the most important part about it. For us, by us. When you go, that's amazing. I was watching something earlier, and I mean, I this is a long sense, but it's leading into our conversation today. That they were talking about the people who work there now. And, now also, guys, if you are looking for a job and you are looking to relocate to Atlanta, and he is hiring. So, understand that there are opportunities out there for a reason. And look, I've been looking into applications myself as well. So, because that's the point. But just there was something saying that when you roll in the studio and you see all these beautiful black people on there, and it changes your idea of what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it. And people could say whatever they want. I have said it too in reference to the content that he creates, but something, I didn't see the bigger picture. Now I understand it a lot more now. So that's.
I was gonna say, didn't we have a conversation a while ago about Tyler Perry movies and film and what
I still feel that way.
And that's fine. But the fact remains is that like this, it's out there for us to talk about. It exists.
Speaking of such, did we get another Boo? Because it's Halloween time. We need Boo Drop 3.
No, we don't. 3. We don't. We really don't. We really don't.
Yes, I watch it.
But it's funny that you bring that up, Blair, because like they did kind of like a spoof on Dear White People of him. Yes, they did where the guy, I don't want to like spoil it for anybody, but there was a guy that was in there that was supposed to be a producer director, and he was supposed to be big, and he was making these movies.
You realize you're already spoiling it, right? So you might as well just
Spoiler alert.
Sorry. Oh yeah. Right.
Because you're like, I'm not going to spoil it, but here's the details.
But they talked about him, and basically they made it seem like damn, I lost my train of thought.
Spoiler alert.
They brought him on. They brought somebody that was supposed to be him, and the big thing was that he was making these films that were questionable.
Is this season 3?
And nobody wanted to work with him.
Is this season 3?
Yeah.
That's why I haven't seen it yet, because I'm mad. That's why I keep saying spoiler alert.
What show is this again?
AKA, shut the hell up!
I'm sorry.
Dear white people.
Yeah, I haven't gotten into it.
If you don't start, you
I
have to
haven't
start
watched
with the
I haven't
movie.
watched the season. Yeah.
Well,
You got to start with the movie, then you can get into the show
Oh,
in
yeah,
case
yeah,
you
yeah.
haven't
You'll see
watched
it.
it.
Season 1 and season 2 are dope, so I just haven't. had
But just start with the movie first, then you'll
Continue what y'all were doing.
get into it.
No, that was it. Like it was just, but it's along the same lines. I'm not saying anything.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry. Erase. You need to. Men in Black.
Yeah. Who remember that song right there? That's that feel good. Because we here today, and we going to honor our brothers and cousins from another mother.
Level up.
All right now. You got that right. We going to level up to Melanated Men Stand Up. Level up, baby. So today, on that nice hot table, coming in from the cold, we going to have us some nice beef stew with some extra gravy. Nice and thick and hot. All right now. With some biscuits on the side. And some red wine and cranberry juice for the sister that don't drink it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's right. So we're going to sit down and we're going to have us a good, nice, full man meal. So we can talk about these melanated men that's going to stand up and rise. Because we got your back, baby. So anybody would like to bring forth some categories? Somebody that we can introduce? As a matter of fact, how we going to kick this off? The category is live, work, pose.
Y'all didn't see it, but the confetti came out.
It came all the way out. Yeah.
Came out.
And the reason why I even start with that is because I like to start with the category of a melanated man that is currently inspiring a generation. And I'm going to start with Mutha. Billy Porter, baby.
What?
Yes.
I would have never have guessed that.
Right, I was.
That seems so out of place.
Okay, that made no sense.
Had to set it up, baby.
Come
the
on.
right way. All right now. So, as you know, he stars in Pose. If you have not watched it, use a cucaracha. A cucaracha.
La cucaracha, la cucaracha.
Hey.
That's not the words, but you know. Go ahead.
So he
Sorry
currently
to our Spanish community who
We
listen
really
to
are.
this.
I'm probably cracking up at us right now. But he was nominated for a Golden Globe Award and won in 2019 of this year the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series, becoming the first, I say again, the first openly gay black man to be nominated and win in any leading category at the Primetime Emmys. So come through Emmys for stepping up and away from the Oscars and doing the right thing by honoring our people and also the LGBTQ community and family. And Billy Porter has officially been cast as the fairy god Mutha in Sony's live action Cinderella. And if you don't go see it, you are still a cockroach.
La cucaracha, la cucaracha.
Hey,
I'm going to
hey.
step on your back and go spit.
Hey.
Did you look up the lyrics?
No, that's just what I made up right now.
Oh.
I'm still looking at Tyler Perry pictures of the opening night. That's just
So yeah, shout out to the one, the only Billy Porter, baby.
you know, and shout out. And it's like we were talking about this earlier, like how it's 2019 and we are still in a bunch of firsts.
That's a damn shame.
Like a bunch of first black anything.
We should
first
be at the
Latin anything.
Cadillion Fadillion.
But you know what? That's why it's so important with Tyler Perry and what he's doing, because then you'll have more people that are going to hopefully
The reason why I was saying it is
thrive
because he is a gay black man and he's breaking barriers. But I mentioned that he was the first to win that outstanding lead actor for Emmy Primetime. But he's inspiring a generation because he is an openly gay black man acting on TV. Isn't he like one of the first people to like do like a scene with another man in the bed where they're like fully naked?
It was the not
on
primetime television,
Time.
because there was we had Noah's Ark from back.
we got cable.
Yeah, but that was cable.
They be showing stuff on
Well,
cable.
FX is still cable, but but that was like the first time that it was
accessible cable.
That was the first time that it was shown in a beautiful artistic way and not a smutty, nasty way.
Exactly.
As they call us black men beasts.
And then he's like
monsters.
so inspiring, like this story and where he came from and what he went through and how he came up to where he is right now. It's just such a tearjerker. And I know that there are young people in the community, and especially in the LGBTQ community, that are watching him, that are inspired and saying, you know what, I can do that too. And they're not being afraid of who they are. And I mean, his photo shoots are just like life-changing.
Well, it's funny, like as you said that, I think that him doing stuff that is groundbreaking is going to make other people who are not necessarily even gay to be very edgy, because they're looking at him and then going, oh, he just did it and he got all of this, and all this backing, and I should be able to do it too. So I saw.
It took him a long time to get there, though.
Well, I mean, as it,
It started off in Broadway,
I don't know if I should say as it should, but I think it's normal for it to take a long time for you to reach to that point. But Pharrell was wearing something. I saw a picture. Let me see if I can find it. But Pharrell Williams was wearing something, and it was very dress-like. It was like a very poofy dress.
The big yellow dress that's going to be on the GQ magazine.
And I was all like, huh.
But you ain't said it about Prince.
But it's few and far in between.
Because
though.
also when it comes down to people, like I guess
Prince started that shit.
Well, not even just that he started that. Like that's something you would really expect from Prince. So
because he made it that way,
right? So like even for people like Pharrell to do it, that's completely out of like Pharrell's comfort
That's
zone.
what I mean.
Not to me.
Well,
Pharrell's always been a weirdo.
I don't know.
But does that make him a weirdo if he wasn't walking around in a dress?
But who said it was a weirdo to be a bad thing? It's a great thing.
That's what Afropunk is all about.
Bam.
Come back,
Express
Afropunk.
yourself.
It's coming.
It's coming. We'll be there next year.
That's gonna be amazing. Side note, I just can't wait till all of us are there. It's gonna be
Lit.
Off the
Liddy.
hook.
I'm sorry, I just got excited real quick.
He had like a mental pause, like in his mind, and had an orgasm. He was like, ooh.
Because you know what's the beauty about Afropunk is that it kind of comes back full circle, because we are the ones who started this whole thing, and then it went to where white people thought that they were the originators and creators of punk and rock, and it was their world, but it actually came from us, and we were very different in that essence. So for it to come back around and for us to have an Afropunk celebration, it's like, we back, bitches!
Oh my! Well, I guess we all heard that.
Levels. Thanks.
You know what? I will jump in that. I will say that. I'll add the greatest Libra that has ever graced this earth, as I'm going to see his movie tonight, Gemini Man. I have a date, y'all. So it's been so long, guys.
Not as long as mine.
I know. Thank God.
No, you didn't.
Jesus Christ, I would die. Girl, you still alive, right?
Is that what it sounds like? What's
Oh my
going
goodness! Talk about Will Smith.
I wouldn't say about how inspiring a generation, like from Will Smith himself, from where he's come from to, from back in the day to where he was in television to now movies to now being, whenever you go on his social media, him and I are very much in the same wavelength about this whole, positivity and moving life forward and not letting people get in your way and all this other great stuff.
He's
and
amazing.
But it's confirming about, how, number one, how great Libras are. And then it's also just confirming all of the beautiful things that I feel every single day.
You know what I think is great about
And
Will
then he's
Smith?
sexy as shit.
Well, that's facts. Facts.
I would grab
All
his
the
ears and just...
His tiny little ears.
I like when he started pumping on
I
stage.
think the
With
thing
what, tweezers?
that's interesting about like Will Smith, especially in this category, is like he's not only inspiring his generation, he's inspiring generations.
Correct.
Like people who, you know, watched Fresh Prince when it was on, like back in the day, and when it was new and current, like, you know, it was like everything. It was lit, and like we're always gonna like ride with him. But like people who are like
1990 is when it first came out.
people who are just like now like getting exposed to, you know, him and what he's all about and his movies and his, you know, Rolodex and his resume, like they're inspired by him too. Like his like reach is just like transgenerational, you know.
Yeah.
Like I feel like everybody, like old, young, and in between,
And no
is
matter what
touched
your
by
background
him.
is.
No matter what your background is too, you know, everybody
That's right.
everybody loves Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just and that's all I can
He's the only rapper that we know that actually made it successful without cursing.
Yo, that was my joint, Big Willie style.
I used to like Welcome to Miami. Buenito, Miami.
I
Getting
mean,
jiggy with it.
about his rap career, though.
Stop it. Don't
Don't-
you do it.
don't-
Don't you
don't
do it.
you
Don't you
do
do
it.
it.
Don't you do it. I'm on their side
Don't
today.
you do
Yeah.
You're so rude. Don't get canceled.
What you not gonna do?
Don't get canceled.
Okay.
What you
That
not
would
gonna
revoke
do?
Yo, black girl, we gonna be over
I
here like
know.
give it to me, give it
What
to me,
you
give it to me.
not gonna do?
I'm not gonna lie.
Play
I
Will
look.
like that,
I no, I would
okay?
never. I
Before
never
DJ
played him like
Jazzy
that.
just pops up in here
And gets thrown out by
cuts
Uncle
you.
Phil.
Stop it.
Because then Viv gonna stop it and get on.
Not the light skinned Viv. She ain't
Side
doing
note,
nothing.
yeah, stop it. The light skinned Aunt Viv used to be my dad's babysitter.
Oh wow!
Oh.
Fun fact.
So look at that. 6 degrees of separation from Will Smith for you.
I'm telling you, it's coming.
It's coming.
Six
So
is gonna be
that's-
1
that's-
degree.
That's 2 degrees.
What's the second one?
No, because that's family, isn't it?
If she used to watch your daddy, that means she remember him.
Right. So that means that
She be like, oh, you done got so big.
Oh, you mean like the level degree? I thought you
Everybody's-
meant by. I thought you were saying 2 degrees, as in like the
Everybody's-
number of connections or ways that I'm connected to him.
Yeah.
I thought there was
See, so
another
that's 2
one.
degrees.
I was like, what's the other one? I get you now. I'm there.
I'm 2
Oh, yeah.
degrees from Will Smith with y'all.
Well,
Well, okay, no. Okay.
Okay, well, you want to do this? Because we can do this. Oh yes.
I mean, I do know Michael B. Jordan, and that's his friend. So, 2 degrees.
Red. On that note, so the next category is
The category is.
The category is melanated men in music.
Ew.
Who that be? Bing, chicka, wow, wow.
So my recent journeys has led me to try and consistently try and listen to new things, do new things, see new places, meet new people. So with that being said, music is no different than that. And I actually wanted to put out in the category Devin Tracy. So if you ever heard of his music, Devin I met, I want to say a couple of years ago. He was doing some, I forget which lounge it was, but he was doing some music there, and he has an amazing voice. And once again, I was just going through Spotify one particular day, and I plugged in his name, and one of my favorite songs that are out there right now that he has is called Good Lovin'. And that is, for me, that's on heavy rotation because I think we often have such a hard time, like when we talk about R&B artists, like who comes to mind? Like I feel like it gets like real hazy to me. Because
Hazy in what way?
I just feel like
No,
it's
just
not,
hazy in what way? I just want to know what you mean by that.
in terms of like who do I want to like listen to at that particular point in time. You know, for me, like I just don't remember R&B being the way that it was, And then I feel like Devin fits that mold. So I wanted to give
the way
him,
you remember R&B being.
yeah.
So how do you remember R&B being?
He talked about that Boyz II Men, Drew Hill, that Joe.
Right,
Yeah.
right, okay.
Well,
No?
not necessarily them, but like I just felt. See, I felt like I want to like play his music.
What's
Play it.
Yeah,
Can you play it?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, go
Wait,
ahead.
give it to me.
Miguel.
Yeah, I mean, because like when you
like
mention
his
like
voice.
some of the
I'm in
What I
love.
said.
when you mention
I'm in
like
love.
some of the
I'm
boys
sorry.
group,
Excuse me. What's his name? I'm in love.
Devin Tracy.
Thank you.
Like, because when you mention
love.
like some of the boy groups, like there's no more boy groups anymore, so I don't even like count them in. Like,
I mean,
feel like
112 is still out there, and Drew Hill is still out there with their 2-3 new members,
I like Devin. I like his voice. What song was that?
and Jagged Edge is still out there.
What song was that? His name. His
Forever Lover.
Thank you.
But
I'm joking.
just,
These people are not out there.
I was about to
I was
say.
gonna say,
I was like, you know something that we don't.
Go ahead, no.
No, I just like really enjoy his music, and just for him, just constantly just dropping new things and just making the progression that he is making. So I just wanted to just shout him out, Devin Tracy.
I especially like seeing artists like on the rise, like who are still kind of like a bit like underground, but they're starting to get some kind of like mainstream like popularity, like a little bit like
I
when
like
they're
in-
in
that's
that,
also
that
why I
transitional
like him.
kind of phase.
Yes,
like
yes.
that's the sweet spot for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I that's also why I like him a lot, because I feel like he doesn't have. I'm not to say that he will have, but I feel like he doesn't have any like outside influences and like you have to sound this particular way.
It just feels more authentic.
You know, I want to like throw another artist in there, who is on that precipice. Precipice? Did I say the right word?
Precipice?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's on that precipice.
There you go.
Giggles. He's on that precipice of like becoming that artist, but he's still like kind of underground, but he's known because he's been on television now. Luke James. So he's the for me. Right. I've seen him live. Because they still also don't know where to put him vocally as far as his sound.
I'm gonna kill somebody.
Oh, okay.
Child.
Wait.
Child, I love Luke James. You don't understand. I got all that boy music right here. Sorry.
Why are you so far back away from the mic? She just had an orgasm, guys.
Oh boy.
But no, yeah, but I was gonna, when you mentioned him, and I was like, when you mentioned the art, the category you wanted, and I was like, something. The first thing that came to my mind is Luke James, and I just love this brother's voice, and it brings it back to the R&B that I knew, that we knew, that all of us knew from way back then. Not this Trey Songz, Chris Brown.
See, I don't.
But
it's not that.
there's
It's not that
nothing
it's
wong
bad.
with that.
It's not that it's bad,
It's
but it's
just
very
different.
different.
It's
It is very
different.
different, especially.
It's not. It's not that it's bad or it's wrong or it's different. It's just not R&B. It needs to now create another name for it. It has to have its own, because it's not the same
it is more
thing.
pop. If we're talking about Trey Songz and Chris Brown specifically, like I feel like out of the two of them, Trey Songz is the R&B artist and Chris Brown is the pop artist.
It's all popcorn.
True.
It's yeah.
True.
It's,
Like
yeah,
if we're-
okay.
like,
No, true.
you know-
You're right. You're right.
If we're because you
If
gotta
we
go back.
have
You
to,
have to
like,
go back. You have
categorize
to go
them.
back into like Chris's
You have
early
to go
days.
back into the Rolodex,
Trey Songz,
okay?
Trey Songz.
Trey
Right.
Songz out here singing, okay?
Right.
Okay, he's singing the panties off people.
So
Anyway.
back to this award
So,
show.
well, I wanted to. I have a nominee for Melanated Men Standing Up in Music, and I want to recognize Masego, who is another one of like those, gaining popularity. He's in like the transitional kind of like getting into mainstream kind of thing. And the only reason I know about him is because he just recently filmed a music video at the YouTube space here in New York, which my roommate Hadasha McGrew, shout out to you. She actually was one of the girls in the music video. The name of the music video, or the name of the song, is called Big Girls. Listen to the song. It's so dope. Like, it's such a good song, and it's got like that same kind of vibe that you were talking about, like Red. I encourage everybody to check him out. Like, his Rolodex is amazing. He's an excellent artist, and he definitely deserves to be in this category.
Nice.
You know what's so funny? Like, I feel like all of us had like a real like hard time like expressing like what is that type of R&B, because it really is more so
know
a
what it
feel.
is.
No, I mean like it's like
Because
it's a feel.
It's
It's a
that
feel.
new alt. They call it alt R&B now.
Alt, like Control, Alt, Delete.
Yes, alt
Like
R&B.
Maybe we
Alternate.
should do that.
get rid of it all.
Yeah, it's called alt R&B. And speaking of that, I would actually like to nominate someone for the same category, and that would be the wonderful voice of Pink Sweats. I love you. If you haven't listened to this, I love you. His voice is just so beautiful and amazing. He's out of Philly. And he's got a couple of EPs out and some singles. And he is, you just got to listen to Pink Sweats. Like, I need an album. I need a show, like, immediately. Like, Pink Sweats, Would You, Honestly, No Replacing You. Oh, my gosh. Drama. Pink Sweats is the man.
And I'm following.
Oh, hell yeah.
See, look at
at that. See,
Each
we-
one, teach one. Come on now.
I mean.
All right, so fast forward to some words.
Oh, well, it's coming in. Okay. Sorry, I'm addicted to this shit.
I need words. Okay, that's enough.
Remind me of the Dream from back. Remember when Dream first
Send that
came
to me,
out?
please. Like, just text that link to me. Thank you very much. Thank you, please. Thank you kindly.
You got Apple
Each
Music?
one, teach one.
Yeah, I do, but I don't
yeah.
really use Apple Music like that.
Oh,
I don't. I just don't. I got so many fucking subscriptions. I need to like put everything down. We need to have an
Diversify.
episode about like, how we regularly got way too much stuff that we subscribe to and how we maybe that's just me. I need y'all to
I was
help.
gonna say I don't subscribe to nothing.
Good.
Apple Music and Tidal over here, baby. Apple Music and Tidal.
So moving right along into the next topic, I had one: melanated men standing up in politics, and I have two for this. Yeah, I have two, and one is for if those of you had listened to two of our previous episodes, 2 episodes back, Brother Isaiah James running for Congress.
Whoop.
Go to isaiah4congress.com. We support this brother. I think I can speak for everybody. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, he's amazing. He actually has. I mean, by the time this will have come out, he will have had the town meeting already. But I will share that information with you guys later. My second one, and my most important one, I think I wanted to mention was, and Red, this is a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, Keith Boykin. Right. And for those of you who don't know Keith Boykin, he's a CNN, what is it, commentator? Yeah, CNN commentator. He's excellent, man. He's written 3 books. He speaks very eloquently when it comes to, and I mean, like with the intention of the male version of Angela Rye, just coming at it in the truth in a heartbeat, not afraid of any white person backing, trying to say anything against his character as far as how he feels when it comes to Trump and when it comes to where this government is and where it comes to anything. I subscribe to everything that Keith does. I'm so proud of him.
I actually have a person that I would like to mention for Black men standing in politics, and that would go out to the current mayor of Winchester, Virginia, my hometown. His name is John David Smith, and he is actually Winchester's first Black mayor, and he won with 100% of the vote. And he is the first Black Democratic mayor, but he's the actually first Democrat to hold posts since the 80s. So it was a major win for Winchester, Virginia, to have a Black mayor and for it to go back to a Democratic mayor who actually cares about the town. And yeah, so
100%
shout
of a
out
voice.
to Winchester, Virginia. Shout out to John David Smith, who also has a wonderful restaurant in Old Town Winchester. It's called the Piano Bar. So if you're in town, please check it out. It is 5 stars. It is amazing, with oyster bar, wonderful brunch, and I had a chance to meet him. He is a wonderful, wonderful, amazing person.
They got shrimp
And,
scampi?
they sure do. They got it all.
Crab cakes.
You and this shrimp scampi. What is going
it's
on?
crab.
I'm having shrimp scampi
And they got
tonight.
lobster.
I said I got a date.
I know, but I didn't know what was going on.
What you going to see tonight, though?
Gemini Man.
You did say that.
With a Gemini.
Lord, Jesus.
Lord.
Good luck with that.
So how about this?
Well, I'll mention somebody. Barack Obama.
Mike.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Come in next time.
For another episode of Highly Melanated.
But you know what?
That's my president.
Speaking
Valid.
of the wonderful and beautiful Barack Obama, the next category I'd like to introduce would be the first to accomplish something in 2019, or the first to accomplish something, period, for Black men standing up. And I would like to give that to the awesome and amazing, beautiful Black man, Sterling Brown.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Go ahead. I'm sorry. 'Cause
Yes.
that's who I was going to. Go ahead.
Ooh.
All right. All right.
As
Hey,
TJ melts in his seat.
hey, you have a date tonight?
You know what?
He getting ready.
I need to get ready.
But getting ready. No, you don't understand.
those
He
panties
getting
up to
ready. It was
dry.
an episode of This Is Us where Sterling was in nothing but his boxers.
Yeah, I did look at that. I was all like, wow.
Girl, don't bite that. You don't know where that's been. Or
Girl,
you know exactly where that's
You
been.
don't know.
Here.
I don't know. But
It's been
but
here.
with boxes, Sterling, and all in one. Oh, Lord. And you can pause it.
It's a beautiful
She was biting the wire, so.
She was biting the wire.
Sterling Brown.
Ooh, don't forget the K. The K is the most important part.
because it doesn't count if you don't say K.
Sterling K. Brown.
There we go.
He plays Randall Pearson in This Is Us. Sterling Brown won an Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in the Drama Series, as well as a Golden Globe, becoming the first Black man actor to win his category in the award show's 75-year history. Additionally, Brown made history by becoming the first African-American actor to receive the SAG Award for Outstanding Male Actor in Drama. And his speech that he did when he won that Golden Globe was so great. They actually cut him off. So after the awards where they kind of like interview all of the actors on like the B stage per se, they put that on YouTube so that he was able to finish his speech in entirety. And it was such a tearjerker. And I love to see him and his beautiful wife together. They are so amazing
that
and
is,
supportive
like,
of each other.
This was for the SAG
Exactly.
Awards, right?
The
Yeah.
support.
And it's so beautiful. Like, it's just so great. It was for the Golden Globe, because that one they cut him off and he finished outside. But he also did
Sterling.
make history.
What's
with
up, man?
Jason Nathanson with ABC News. Congratulations on the night.
Thanks, Chase.
You seem like you had more to say up there. You got played off.
I did.
What are your thoughts on that, and would you like to finish?
You know what? I wouldn't mind finishing. Thank you for the invitation. I wanted to thank our writers. A show doesn't get 7 acting nominations without some impeccable, beautiful, thoughtful writing. You guys are our life's blood, so I want to thank you so much. To our producers and directors, in particular, John Reckwood, Glenn Ficarra, and the crazy cool Ken Olin. Thank you for your guidance and friendship. And I wanted to thank Dan Fogelman. He is the Hebrew hammer with which our house is built. He makes me laugh and cry in equal parts and keeps me coming back for more. And in his own little, small, special way, he's not trying to make America great again. He's trying to make it the best that it's ever been. And I love him for taking me on this journey with him. I want to thank my manager of 17 years, Jennifer Wiley Stockton. We've been doing this for a long time, and it feels like we're just getting started. I can't wait to see what's next. And to my wife. They cut me off before I got to thank my wife, man. Ryan Michelle Bathay, you're everything. You make my life worth living, and you gave me 2 of the most beautiful things that God has ever put on this planet, my sons, Andrew Jason Sterling Brown, Amari Michael Ryan Christian Brown. Your daddy loves you with the strength of 1,000 suns. I'll see you Monday after work. Love you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, my
Chile.
goodness. Okay. Black men stand up, baby. Melanated men
Chile.
stand all the way up with an erect back.
Speaking of erect back,
Well,
let's have her on an erect
And a
front.
high head.
Okay, let's talk about the melanated men who. I just want to nominate one melanated man who stands up in my thoughts. Yeah. That's Omari Hardwick. That's it. Just want to get that to him. Shout out to since this is the
Ghosts.
last.
And when you say stands up,
like, right.
Oh,
And
y'all
we met
know.
him
What's
standing
standing
up,
up?
you talking about?
And we met him too, didn't we? PJ Shrimp Scampi, and we met him
Okay,
too,
we
didn't
met him,
we?
Susan. I mean, we were both on the set of Power.
Not
we saw
creepy at all.
Not at all.
Not creepy at all. Not at all.
He looked like that in real life too.
But you know, he's amazing. But yeah. Remember again when I made my list of people I wanted to work with, he was actually on top, and that was the first gig that I actually ever really booked. And
I'm sorry, he was on top.
he can be whatever position he wants to be. To be honest with you, I understand that he is a heterosexual man. No disrespect to you, Omari, if you may hear this, but brothers out here be fantasized. I can't even say the word. Fantasizing,
and that's a
you.
good thing.
You know, I mean, and then he's also a good brother with good energy. So just don't disrespect his family or when he's out with his family, or because he's a family man. So
Yeah,
I
don't
understand
run up. Don't be rude.
Don't be rude. But that's my category that I'm just gonna like throw that one out there, and then that'll be it.
But one thing I do want to say about him is that I really liked is the fact that when the scene was over, he came around to shake each and every single person that was a background actor in that scene, and I thought that was
That's amazing.
He really looked you in the eye and shook your hand and said, "Thank you so much for coming."
So here's the story, right? Real quick.
Here we go.
Real quick. So we don't have much time, guys, but I'm gonna keep this in here then. So when we were sitting around the scene, it'll be episode 502. If you go, so you don't know, that's 502. About 25.31 time.
502.
Okay, and that's where Yushi and I are in the episode, and I was the one who got the close up. Yushida was in there as well. Well, Yushi was in there.
I got the close up too.
Yeah, but and we initially was sitting side by side with each other, and then they were doing last looks, and then she was just like, and that by that sound is me her looking at me, then looking at where Omari would be sitting, and then she went to the director or whatever, whispered something, and then next thing you know, they moved me over to the direct across from him, and I was just like, well, I feel some kind of way, and she was like, no, baby, it's because two pretty can't sit next to each other. I was like, oh. She's like, but we can move you somewhere. I said, no, this is perfect. This is actually exactly where I want to sit.
Can't be out here stealing focus.
Okay, now I'm just engaging in
this is in the church when they go to their counseling because Tasha requested them to go together as a family after they lost Raina.
Yeah.
So this is when they first initially go, and Ghost is against it, but Tasha's for it.
Right, and I was just all over this crotch. So he's the person I would actually nominate, and then also Will Smith, but I will see him in a couple of hours.
It's a shame that we have to finish so soon. We didn't even do Sweatpants Awards.
Oh,
I did say pink sweats.
Well, then go ahead quickly.
I don't have
Gray
anybody.
Sweats Award goes to.
I just look at everybody.
The Gray Sweats Awards
Gray
go. No,
Sweatpants.
the Gray Sweats Award will go to either the game or.
Ooh.
I would co-sign that. Oh, damn. And y'all thought I was acting up.
I would take a picture.
You should see how she look right now.
And that was a natural reaction.
Right, it was.
And y'all thought I'd be acting up.
What was
The
the
game.
hashtag that he had? What was it? Fine Nigga Thursdays? Or what was it? What was it? Oh, shit.
Damn.
Y'all know what he was talking about. Y'all don't remember this?
No, I don't. Why don't you tell us?
What? The game on Instagram.
Child.
It was I think it was, oh my God. I got to find it now, and then I'll be right back. Oh my God.
After these messages of the game and
If y'all don't know, you about to find out.
Damn.
I think that's what it was.
Fuck me out, Blair. I can't front.
I'm sorry because it took me back. So he said the game. Okay, let's talk about it now. He absolutely wins because so on Instagram he's famous for thirst trapping. So on Fridays he would do this post and he would call it #FindNiggaFriday, and basically like he would make this whole hashtag caption about like just like fantasy stuff that like he would do, and it's very like X-rated, but like and then he would like the picture would be just him and a picture of him in sweatpants, and it's
HBO, by the way, watch out tonight. Oh, she on now.
Everything. It was so good, and he like did it like a couple Fridays like back to back, and then like he stops doing it, and everybody was feeding, talking about where is the Find Nigga Friday post? Where is it? And then he would like bring it back every once in a while, but like he knew how to keep people waiting. I'm still waiting. I wouldn't mind another Find Nigga Friday post.
All right, so
the game,
Damn sugar hot.
LA Confidential.
On that note,
So on that note, let's move into dessert.
I mean, damn. Crying out loud.
Oh, it's hot in here. It's hot.
moist.
Yes. It has to go. So on that note, let's go ahead and move into desserts. I don't even know. Okay, just to...
How about men as dessert?
Men as dessert. Sure. Along with your final thought.
Okay, final thought. My man as a dessert would be the person I stare at in the mirror every single day, myself, because I'm learning how to love myself more every single day. And you as a black man should learn how to love yourself more every single day. And that is myself as a dessert, licking me up from down, up and down, in and out, and all of it. And that's actually all. The dessert and the final thought. I think I was very descriptive.
Well, damn.
That hurt my head. So like, what?
But no, I'm in all seriousness. I really believe that, I would, for dessert, it wouldn't be no other person other than the person I see in the mirror, because I'm learning more and more who PJ really is and learning to love him
I like it.
for him and not any other person's idea of who he should be.
Amen.
But yeah, it's really just about making sure that you continue to just empower yourself. I've been very big about that, just making sure that we positively impact each other and not afraid to compliment and not afraid to boost each other's confidence. So yeah, just keep uplifting each other. That is my final thought.
Love it.
Boom.
My final thought is men are just important. Fathers are just important as mothers, and fathers, brothers, cousins, uncles, grandfathers, great uncles are all needed and an important part of our lives. And without the strong men in our lives, we are not 100% whole. And my male dessert would be some motherfucking Method Man.
Ooh.
You're all
I
need to get by. You're all that I need. I'll be there for you. If you keep it real with me, I'll keep it real with you. Go ahead, Blair.
Yes.
Did y'all see him in that last award show?
My final thought is kind of echoing what we talked about last week with what PJ was saying with giving our women their roses while they're still here. I think that there is so much emphasis and importance put on what black women do. I don't want us to forget to shine the light on what black men do also. I think that we just need to, in general, just continue to lift our community up, men, women, and everybody who identifies as men and women, and just continue to give people the opportunity to be appreciated and recognized for all the accomplishments that they're making while they're still here, because it's important for them to know that. And my male dessert is HBO and also Michael Ealy.
All right, wait, say that again. I jumped over you.
It's okay. My male dessert is HBO and then also my fantasy male dessert is Michael Ealy.
Okay. Wow. HBO, she ready tonight. I'm telling you.
Stop it.
The game. On that note, guys, thank you for taking the time to listen to another episode of Highly Melanated. As always, you can follow us on all brands, forms, lands, and everything of social media. That would be Highly Melanated Podcast on Instagram and H_Melanated Pod on Twitter. Also, any questions, comments, and concerns, you can email us at highlymelanatedpodcast@gmail.com. Also, in addition, we have a new episode of Highly Melanated Voices come up, which basically is, once again, your voice. You telling us what you feel about a certain question. And the question that we're posing is, it's a two-part question, so it's on both ends that two different sets can have. So one would be,
what is it that your elders have shared with you that has stuck with you throughout the years?
Mm-hmm. And the other part would be, if you are an elder or someone that you have people look up under you, what message do you want to provide to them that will stick with them through the rest of the years? So on that note, guys, we would just like to say peace, love, and...
Peace, love, and black men stand up.
Black men stand up. We're not forgetting about you, brothers.
The real black man, would you please stand up?
And squirt, squirt.
Yeah.
Squirt, squirt, squirt.